you, the panel members. And I think it's a great way to start the conversation. I think the evening, quite a few of us were, I think, stuck because of the traffic when Messi was in town. And we know the pollution. You know, interestingly, Neeraj has triggered an interesting thought, you know. In terms of the pollution is something all of us are going through right now. As an entrepreneur, and this is totally off script, you know, as an entrepreneur, what's your take? Is there an opportunity out there you see? Maybe quick 1 minute take from each of you. Yeah, you can start with Suresh.
First of all, thank you so much for inviting us to be here with all of you. It's a very privileged moment for all of us. In every crisis, there is an opportunity.
Absolutely.
It's emerging. How we identify and what kind of solutions we can derive out of it is, in regarding pollution, if I don't know about how it can be addressed, but the lifestyle which we are going through, if that we work out clearly, and that can be one of the part we can take. Because I'm from food sector, I can say the lifestyle transformation can help how the eating habits we are building up, that can help to be safer our side.
So I would say, from my perspective, I mean, we're talking about the gifting industry.
Absolutely.
And if there is one product that is on fire this time and never available is, as everyone would know, is an air purifier. And you know, the best of the best are always gone. And we always see this big spike in demand, both, you know,
Yes.
for high-end purifiers and masks. So I think there are companies that have definitely capitalized, you know, on that opportunity immensely. But that said, there is so much more to be done, not at a micro level, but at a macro level. And you know, I'm sure that some smart people are putting their heads together, and it is a crisis, no doubt. So hopefully, there's, you know, something is going to happen in that space for sure.
Great. Your take?
Thank you. I'm primarily from the commercial interior design company. So the end clients are primary clients to corporate houses. So we're more into green spaces. So making more energy efficient tools primarily so that the pollution can come down to it. Primary effective constructions, which are there, one of the tools to it.
Absolutely. You know, interesting, like, as you mentioned that, you know, it's every opportunity, of course, every issue, every challenge has an opportunity, you know, and that's where innovation comes from. If you look at it, innovation and collaboration go hand in hand. And in fact, interestingly, I was going through an interesting data point. You know, of the 630 odd Nobel Prizes given out till 2024, 270 of them were shared between 2 or 3 people. You know, what it means that even the best of the minds have to collaborate. And that's where innovation, I think, is important, because if the best have to collaborate, you have to be the best, then collaboration and innovation have to go hand in hand.
Yes, exactly.
You know, let me come to you as a common question to all of you. In terms of, say, you know, we experience the power of innovation as consumers, as business leaders. You know, we have come across, say, for example, you know, innovations we know lead to product differentiation, market disruption. Examples are like, say, the Apple's ecosystem. You have the examples of the quick commerce that we have seen around us. Operational efficiency, you know, what we see on Blinkit, for example. Improvement in customer experience, the Apple's watch. Interestingly, there's a behind-the-scenes story behind all of them. You know, for example, the Apple Watch was not the first GPS-enabled phone. You know, it was Garmin, which came out in 2003 with a GPS-enabled watch, actually. You know, even say if you look at Blinkit, Grofers was the earlier avatar of Blinkit. You know, and now Blinkit has become a verb in a sense. You know, just say, okay, Blinkit kar do. You know, so point is that innovation is something that's part of our lifestyle. You know, it seeps into our lifestyle. Each of you, maybe starting with you, you know, what is it that one thing, you know, as a serial entrepreneur, that is, you know, that's very important, that as you go around doing your own business, you know, that you feel that innovation has to be part of the culture. What is it, that one thing that's very important for you?
See, from the name of our brand name itself, it starts. Ahara is our brand name. Ahara, in most of the languages, it is called food.
Yeah.
And the tagline of ours is, a taste of culture, a path to Arogya. When ahara becomes the taste of culture, it will lead path to arogya. So that is where the idea itself started. Now if you ask innovation and technology, how we are bringing in, it's an old science, ancient science, which is we are all following up. So we are into spices. There are spices. India is the largest producer of spices. What is the innovation we have done? ISRO is using cryogenic technology, which we are adapting into our spices. So ISRO is using at minus 253 degrees Celsius cryogenic technology. For us, we are using at minus 196 degree. We freeze the grains. After that, we grind and blend.
Okay.
That is the technology which we are using, and that is the innovation which is bringing. Now, innovation, if you ask me again in this, what is that? We are bringing the old, our grandma's taste and culture into the current generation. That's what ahara is bringing on. So minus 196 degree, when we grind and blend, 90 to 99% of nutrient, essential oils, and aromas are preserved. So when that is preserved, that takes care of the health part of also. So that is how ahara started its first step in cryogenic technology in doing this. And it doesn't stop there, because our tagline talks about a taste of culture, a path to arogya. So we started with cryogenic technology and spices. Now we are working on developing recipes, ready to cook, ready to eat. Verb, again, herbs and botanicals added into the functional foods. We are bringing in functional foods. For example, if I have to give, we all used to have idli dosa, right? It's only a nutrient supplement, means we get a staple nutrient in this. Now what is the difference we are going to make out of it is, we are bringing the herbs and botanicals added in the things. Brahmi, tulsi, lemon balm, all this is getting added in the food itself. So when that comes, it helps to develop the cognitive skills and memory power. So that's how we are going. So this is one is Meda Idli is what we are working out, and which we are planning to launch at Gulf Food. Like that, we are working on, means today the one more biggest problem what we are facing is a sleep disorder because of lot of distractions. So we are working as a Nidra Payasam. In Nidra Payasam, we are working with, again, if you ask me, khaskhas, nutmeg, and jatamasi. All this herbs and botanicals is added with that. And when you take that, Nidra Payasam is in, here we can call kheer. So when you take that and go, it will take you a good sleep. You can have a good sleep. And again, if you ask we are using ashwagandha and tulsi leaf into ready to eat, which is going to be Man Shanti Khichdi. The name itself, we are giving Man Shanti Khichdi. So it will reduce the stress level and it will enhance your wellness. And for diabetic, we are working Sutra Pongal, which will be little foxtail millet, little millet, fenugreek. So all the herbs and botanicals which we are adding into it and we are bringing. This is the innovation we are bringing onto the table, which is all old ancient methods that we are bringing into the functional food itself. That's what ahara is coming into the table.
Interesting.
So I loved, what you said, and it's true. If you are the pioneer, and there was someone who was on one of my podcasts. I also host, a couple of podcasts, and he was on my podcast last week, and he said the first soldier through the door. Okay, and this is for everyone in the audience. The first soldier through the door is often the person who also gets shot. So if you are the first, you said, Steve Jobs wasn't the first when he even came to the iPod. There were people, who had done it before him, and he, of course, innovated and tweaked it a bit as well. To my mind, the prerequisite, okay, for innovation is three things. Actually, I wear it on my hand. Okay, so it's not ChatGPT generated. It's actually, it's something that I believe in. The first of them is attitude. You have to have the right attitude, towards being someone who's going to be innovative. You can have the right attitude, but you also have to take action. Okay, so you have that thought, but if you're not taking action, obviously, it's not going to go anywhere. And I think the third A in this, when you've got that movement and you've got that traction and you've got that momentum behind you, it's acceleration. So I call it 3 A's, which is the prerequisite for me for innovation, which is attitude, action, and acceleration. I think those, 3 things are very, very important. And as a company, we've always innovated. We've always said, Consortium has been one of India's most, innovative companies in the space of gifting. We tied up with an organization. It's an organization called IGC, which has 41 members across the world. It was a friendship network. It was like, what will happen later today? It was a daru party and all of that. And I said, how about we pool our resources and we bring a solution towards our customers that can truly make, a global solution possible. To give you an example, HCL is one of our larger clients. HCL was shipping products from here to, Bulgaria for their, back office and GCC that they had over there. It made no sense. All we did is we activated our Turkish member to help them locally over there. And by virtue of that collaboration, which you also mentioned, we were able to bring down the costs of logistics for HCL by 83%. Okay, so hence, it almost became a way where, you could take a solution, think out of the box, take it and make it in terms of end result of saving money for an organization. In the podcasting space, we've just launched something which comes out, in a couple of days from now. It's a deck of 36 cards of every person who's been on our podcast, which tells them in terms of, who came on, why they came on, and what did they say, what are the key takeaways, and you flip it, there's a QR code in the back, you scan it, and you can decide to jump onto the episode directly.
Interesting.
I'm flying with someone, it's a great gift to give out to someone, and they have a conversation, the conversation starter. No one in the podcasting world, amongst the tens of thousands of podcasts in the world, no one has done this.
We'll check it out. Yeah.
Right? And I actually went and launched it. So it's just out of the box thinking, but again, the 3 A's is probably the cornerstone.
Lovely. Amrik, what does it mean?
Primary of the innovation and technology, we've been into design firm.
Okay.
And major problem what the client always asks for multiple layouts, design layouts.
Absolutely.
And our designers at the back end keep on struggling with it. Sometimes the time crunch and making the client understand the layouts. So primarily on the technology front and the virtual walkthroughs or the mood boards help client to virtualize the property. They can visualize the space, what they actually wanted at the end to it. So technology we're using in multiple ways in design front. So help the client to close the deal quickly, cost effective, time effective to it. And the presentation of multiple mood boards through the AI technology help us for the end client to close the deal effectively and very swiftly about it. And even on the automation of the project and the costing, technology eventually help us to it, even on the budgeting and the costing phase to it. So many parameters inside our company, we're using technology tools, which can help us to reduce the cost effectively and showcase multiple renders to the end client so they're able to close effectively. Even on the execution front, technology helping us that. There's certain time crunch where the client wanted the property to be ready during the rent-free period to it. We always running against the time to it, the operation of the execution team. So technology help us to make certain charts, certain parameters which we can showcase to the client, wherever timelines are there, and help the client to get the property end product as before the timeline is to be done.
Interesting.
It. Thank you.
Suresh, if I come to you, in terms of say, is there a personal sort of a process that you have, because you're a serial entrepreneur, you have done quite a few businesses. So is there a personal process that you have when you look at a business, and it's not that I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure there would be some moment where you would say, hey, we can do something here. There'll be some moment that way. And as an entrepreneur so how do you sort of, what is the process that you follow in terms of, the innovative thinking process? What's your own style?
Thanks for asking this question. It's a 30 years of entrepreneurial experience for me. My career started with automobiles.
Okay.
It went to finance, insurance, road safety, real estate, education. In education also, we are not in the regular field. We are into prenatal and postnatal educators.
Okay.
So prenatal educator is means how to prepare a couple before conception, how to prepare their body, mind, and soul. So we have developed the content and we deliver it to them and we monitor it. And then how they should connect with their womb child. When they become pregnant, how their womb child, they can connect on that. And then the postnatal. When we were working on this, we were working on this during COVID. We got the opportunity we worked on that. When we were working on this particular subject, there it attracted me completely is diet. Because to develop body, mind, and soul has to be sync in that. The main important one of the major aspect is food. Diet, today it has been talks about carbs and other things we talk, but the enhanced diet, the full word did it enhance today. So what we are having today, did it enhance today? And that's where the thought came, how we can make our food habit itself being a healer food has to be the medicine.
Absolutely.
And the thought started from there. So it started in 2020, somewhere April, May, this thought started, and and that is the time only industry was flourishing was food industry because of COVID. So my entire attention went on to that to absorb and things. And last 1.5 years back, I was mentoring one of the spice startup, and that made me the things. So everything formulation means every entrepreneurial experience gave me experience in such a way so that the next business get developed.
Interesting.
And for food industry, I'm a completely novice. We are currently 6 months of operations. Commercial operation is from 4 months. But I can tell you in this 4 months, we have reached 20,000 retail outlets across South India. So currently our products are available in 20,000 retail stores across South India. Now we are in very good level of discussions with modern trade and e-commerce. So by this month end or January, our products will start getting there. And then I'm not looking only cryogenic. Then what means, when you ask me this question, what entrepreneurial experience, how? So food has to be the medicine. That is what that idea came. And I know what I wanted to do. I figured it out that very clearly. But when I talk about ready to cook, ready to eat, if I come with that, my establishment cost and marketing cost to establish the brand is becoming very, means high cost. I'm going in a high cost. Then I was analyzing what is the right aspect to get into every home easily. That's where spices is clicked. When spices clicked, I said, again, it is a 1,70,000 crore market. I will be to start with, I am a very small on that. So what is the differentiation I can bring in? That's where cryogenic came into the picture. When cryogenic came, then I thought, okay, this is a very good aspect for me to get into every home. And that brings my brand image, means brand get into every kitchen. From space tech to the kitchen cabinet is what we are placing.
Oh.
And then we wanted to play our game, means the food has to be the medicine. This is how we have developed.
It's very interesting.
Thank you so much for asking this question.
No, absolutely. It's a
Connected
revelation.
to my heart.
Absolutely. Gaurav, I was going through your profile and the podcast that you mentioned, I went through one of them, and I'm also a newbie in the podcast world, so of my own interest. You work very closely with a lot of founders in terms of advising them as an entrepreneur. What is your observation in terms of how do the businesses generally embed innovation in their thinking, in their process? What is the observation that you have when you talk to across board different founders?
Right, thank you for that. So again, we've had a lot of very interesting founders who've come, on our podcast. And of course, we go back, and I'm just thinking of the time when I started Consortium, which was, just prior to the .com bust. And at that time, you had every client, that we had on board at the time was a .com company. And of course, 2 of them have survived, and they still remain dear friends. One of them is Deep Kalra, who runs Make My Trip. And of course, I know the other one is Sanjeev Pichindani, who owns and runs Naukri.com, amongst other customers as well. And, even back then, there were just so many brilliant, ideas that were really there. I mean, at the time, there was eGurukul in the space of, education. And I mean, I just remember there just being so many, but how many really survived?
Exactly.
And I think the biggest mistake that a lot of companies and startups, are doing in today's ecosystem is they just think that, just having a passion or a great idea is enough. And I think that, they kind of overestimate, market demand. They overestimate, even just the economics and simple things as cash flow. It's just, and I always say that, top line is such a big vanity matrix where everyone looking, okay, my top line itna hai, itna mera turnover hai. I'm like, bhai, turnover mat batao. I said, mujhe batao ki aapka PAT kitna hai. Okay, how much money are you making and how much money do you have left in the bank? So hence we always say top line is vanity, bottom line is sanity, but cash in the bank is king. And I think that's why, people, when they have these, ideas that, oh, I've got this breakthrough idea, but they aren't working on the basic fundamental principle, okay, and I've been doing business since I was 6 years old, okay, so wow. That's when I started my first company. So I've always, and for me, it's always been was profit, right, and my parents always say, perhaps you got, I was born in Calcutta, and, from a very conservative, Punjabi family, but they think that on birth I was switched with some Marwadi kid. Because they're like, bhai, tu hamesha dhanda hi sochta hai, tu hamesha paisa hi sochta hai, tu hamesha profit sochta hai. So I tell people, great to be, innovative, great to have this thought that's going to change the world, But in the end, how much money are you really saving? And that is, that's always my advice to people, that think about, the cash aspect and what you have left in the bank.
Interesting. So did you start selling lemonades or something initially? No.
As a 6-year-old, I actually started with the comic book library.
Wow.
When I was 16 years old, some of you in the audience may have played with this product. It was called the WWF Trump Cards. If you ever did. Anyone WWF Trump Cards growing up? Okay, awesome. So the first pack of WWF Trump Cards ever was made by me. There are 2 magazines I got from the US from a cousin who came. I cut them up. I gave them to a printing press. And, we printed them and I was selling them in school. And my principal called my parents and he said, "Bhai, tu padhne aata hai ki dhanda karne aata hai?" Right? So, I mean, fortunately, my parents let me continue. But I've always been, in entrepreneurship. So, yeah, and innovation is key with a little bit of copying perhaps. Like the Trump cards wasn't original, but the WWF Trump cards no one had done. So, the Trump cards had cars, but I did the wrestlers and I put it out and I did okay as a 16-year-old as well.
Wow, that's great. Amrit, in terms of your business is highly competitive. Design is something, as you mentioned, customers demand constantly new sort of features, new aspects. How do you sort of, bring in technology, AI, other aspects into this and bring in the, innovative sort of ideas and...
So primary, in our company, we give so this company is founded by IIT, Bombay grads. So we are basically a tech-enabled design company. And we give a lot of free hand to our technology team and the product team. They're based out of Bombay, Malad head office there. And all these innovation-free ideas primarily come from the solution they want to give it to the end client. Whenever we have a product executed site, we always take a feedback from our clients. And whatever they want us to in place, we try to inbuild in our product to it. So unless we have any problem related, the end client is facing it up and we're able to give them solution, we try to inbuild in our product to it. So that's one of the things which we try to do it. A lot of time we face issues on the, on the layouts, whether we call it the design side to it. That's we try to help it out to the client by creating mood boards, by creating virtual walkthroughs. That's even helping the client to make the property virtually able to see it. And secondly, only on the costing, which they want more transparency there. They wanted the bill of quantities, they wanted execution timelines to be more transparent there. So we have created our own tech there, which is called a Wisdom to it, which has all these product line which are similar to e-commerce, but we don't buy and sell there. The end client can virtually see all the products, what are their description, what are their costing to it, and they're able to select from there, and they can inbuild in the BOQ. We give a physical primary virtual tour of the site to it also, but all this catalog, they can able to see it. And they're all in-house built. All the techies and the time and the cost and the money is involved in-house to build it up. That's we make a differentiator in the market also to it.
Okay. As you said, the customers are always demanding. Like, is there a customer feedback loop that you have built into your whole process? Like, is that something that's...
So primary in a Wisdom, primary internal tool which is there, all these architectural drawings are there. The client can use it at the end. Even after 5 years or 10 years, they want to make any changes in the layout, they can use it up. All these renders which are primary there, from starting from the scratch of the 2D and 3D, everything is there in the portal itself. The client can use it whenever they want to do it. If you talk about MEP, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, is more technical to it. All these architectural drawings are there. Whenever the client want to have it, they can virtually look into it. So all these things we are given on the online platform to the end client. So sometimes these documents get misplaced after 5 or 10 years, whenever, or 20 years, they don't want to go back to these drawings, they want to see it. Everything is there on the portal itself. And even they want to go for revisions, because before execution, all these layouts goes for the formal approval to the end client. They can see it when they have approved it, what they have approved. So there's no misconception. What they have approved, the end product is the same.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I was preparing for this. I came across an interesting anecdote, and I thought I'll share that with you guys. For example, toy maker Lego. All of us would have our own Lego stories. Lego has something called a Lego Ideas platform. And what they do is that, they source new product ideas from Lego users, which are, of course, customers. And if a product idea gets approval from 10,000 supporters of the Lego fan community, which again customers, the company goes out and builds that Lego product, in a physical format. And then what they do is the creators of that idea, they get 1% of the net sales of the product. I was amazed, like, look, here you have a company, it's a self-generating revenue stream and a cycle,
You know, and just to add to that, we had an Indian example just like this. I
Sure.
mean, way back in the day, you had, Leo Toys, and Leo Toys was the board game company, which, of course, eventually then they let Blowplast, and, they
Yeah.
sold the board game business. But basically what happened with them was exactly the same. As when I was in college, they would actually come to me and they said that, can you create a board game around a particular theme? And they would pay a royalty of 1 to 2%.
Yes.
And I think at that time, I made 12 board games for Leo, exactly on the same basis. And they're like, I hope the company didn't shut down because of you. Because it was my board games that were going out on the market. But even right here in India, we had Leo that would do exactly the same thing as well.
Absolutely. Gaurav, are there any, since you work with a lot of entrepreneurs here, are there any myths around innovation which you think you would like to burst?
Interesting myths around innovation. So there are actually quite a few, and I think some that would really come to mind is the fact that if you build it, they will come. Okay, so I think that's a big myth. The fact that you just put it out there and you're going to have people lining up for your product or service. It will be a roller coaster ride. There will be lots of heartbreak. There will be lots of. It will be a roller coaster, emotionally, financially, mentally, all of that as well. So I think one big myth is, if you build it, they will come. I think another big myth is the fact that first to market is a short of success, which we know it's not necessarily the truth as well. And I think the third thing is that you need to go out there and raise funding by letting equity go. We started the bootstrap company 25 years ago. We're still, completely promoter held and owned as well. We have not let even 1% equity go. And I don't think we actually will until we actually hit the capital markets. And I'm talking about the main board in 2030 or beyond. I think one big myth is that I need to let equity go early. I highly recommend don't. Go down the debt route, beg, borrow, steal, go to a bank, raise money from there, but don't let equity go early. I think that's a big mistake.
Suresh, what's your take? As an entrepreneur, does that reciprocate to you? You are a serial entrepreneur.
See, innovation, when we are talking about in food technology, other than technology, how do we connect the customer?
Yeah.
We have chosen a B2B model. So we have appointed distributors and through them we are reaching the retailers. So we don't know the end customers directly to us. So then we had a thought of how do we connect them? And I was talking about lifestyle transformation is what we wanted to do. Again, if I have to tell you, a taste of culture, a path to Arogya is the tagline. So we wanted to bring the culture in doing the lifestyle transformation. When that was the thing, there we went on identifying AI, how we can use that. So now we are making our grandma as a AI Ajji. Okay, and each pack, like how he was talking about QR code you scan, and that will learn to our AI Ajji, where the grandma will talk to you and guide you how to be a part of the culture, means the lifestyle transformation, what you can bring. So this is how we are bringing the innovation, technology, and idea all together. And the best part is it's not only idea is enough, how you execute, because idea is 1%, execution is 99%.
Absolutely.
If we don't execute it properly, yes, there will be a lot of challenges when we are going through, but we have to face that, and every step we have to take the new decision and move on faster. That's how we can be staying in this.
Absolutely. Amrit, any sort of thoughts from your end in terms of when you look at the whole innovation process from your own perspective, what is that one thing that stands out? Any lesson that you have learned over the years?
Primary, don't lose the creativity primary.
Okay.
So technology helps us to make our work very easier. In our line of business, layouts fractionally, they can easily made it up on ChatGPT or different tools which are available. They're somehow losing our own creativity which is there. So it has to be intact to it. That's the main idea which we keep on telling our designers also. Don't lose the thoughts on this. What is the creativity? What is the mood board the client wanted? Keep that intact to it. There can be versions to it which are easily available online to it. And the tools are available. They make our time easier. We can multiple layouts we can share across to it. But the creativity should not be lost to it. That's make a difference to it from the other companies, or individually they make a difference to it. That's it.
Interesting. Finally, any sort of thoughts that what would be your advice to, the startups, the youngsters who are going down the, the serial entrepreneur path, or they are going down the entrepreneurship path, and they want to be, everybody wants to be different, So maybe each one of you, final round, Gaurav.
One thing is people stuck with idea.
Yeah.
When it comes for execution, they say, I need funding. Only this fund comes, then I will be able to do this. So their focus is not on execution of idea, but most of them goes on funding part.
Okay.
That should not be there. You do, like how he said, you beg, borrow, whatever you do, but execute that idea. How you are going to execute, and that is the only tool which is going to help them to, to be part of the idea.
So for you, execution is key.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, just taking that forward, I think to my mind, it is the mindset of do whatever it takes. And, I always believe, पैसे बना लो या बहाने बना लो, आप दोनों नहीं कर पाओगे. So you can either make money or you can make excuses, you can't make both. There will be commentary, there will be a lot of, inputs will come to you that economy में ये होने वाला है, वो होने वाला है. आँख और कान बंद करो and just go for it. I think that would be my thought process on that.
Amrik, any thoughts?
Primary, look forward to any tool which is helping the end client primarily. Create
Okay.
something which is they were able to use it and easier to use it primarily to it. So whatever we try to make an end product in a technology front, then customers can use it. They're helpful for them. And they're people able to user-friendly primarily to it. Nothing which is they're creating which is not helpful to the end customer and just spending
So
more
the
of
customer
time.
should get some value out of.
Value proposition has to be there.
Has to be
Yes,
solid.
Yes. That's
Great.
it.
I think we were just getting started, I think, but I think we're just, you've seen the, so thank you, all three of you,
Thanks
and
a lot. Thank you.
lovely, and
Thank you for
we'll
the
continue the
lovely
conversation
questions.
offline maybe.
100%.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.